This is GamesAtWork.biz, your weekly podcast about gaming, technology, and play. Your hosts are Michael Martin, Andy Piper, and Michael Rowe. The thoughts and opinions on this podcast are those of the hosts and guests alone and are not the opinions of any organization which they have been, are, or may be affiliated with.
This is episode 546, Smart Play Doom Brain Brick. Hello and welcome again to another edition of GamesAtWork.biz. This is Michael Martin. I am joined with my other two co-hosts, so we're full strength yet again with Mr. Michael Rowe. How are you today, Michael?
Woo! I am ready to rock and roll, have some fun, and talk tech with our other co-host, Andy Piper. Andy, how are you?
I'm well. I am slightly jealous of Michael Martin and his new toys.
Aww.
In fact, I'm quite pleased that he's chosen to join us this week because he could be off, making noises and playing with technological bricks.
Flashing lights.
I could have. Flashing lights, neat sounds, all that stuff. So what Andy's referring to is I put in an order early for the new Lego Smart Play all-in-one system. And the one that I purchased was the X-Wing fighter set. With only 581 pieces. And one of those 581 pieces is that smart brick.
That's the one. You see, it would be 580 pieces otherwise.
Yeah. And so just learning how to use this thing, and I've done just a little bit with it so far. I have not built the X-Wing yet. I've built sort of the little transporter that would get the fuel to the X-Wing. And what's super cool is that it has sort of this RFID tag that you can place, and then you put the brick that makes the noise on top of said thing, and it recognizes that it's on something.
Ooh.
And it will make a sound as you are playing with it. The accelerometer, gyroscope, the flashing lights are all part of this Smart Play brick. And I actually fooled Andy for a moment because he thought I had a play date, which I didn't have. That's actually the charging receptacle, I guess, from Lego, which is yellow and looks a little bit like the Playdate handheld device, just no crank.
So the question I have to ask, because now that we've seen it, at least on video, it looks like you have multiple different RFIDs that you can put on different parts of the model.
Yes.
But you have one brick, and
Yes.
that one brick across possibly even all other builds will sit there and go, oh, I read this RFID, so I make that sound. I read this RFID, so I make that sound. Is that the basic premise of this?
I believe so. And I'm going to learn a little bit more about it as I build the thing. The obviously for kids, having one brick that has this kind of feature is going to be tricky because it could get lost, or you could step on it and crush it. Although Lego is extraordinarily resilient for that sort of thing, and if you step on it, you'll know, and it'll probably crush you.
Well, it's probably lucky that it's resilient to that sort of thing because it does contain a LiPo battery, so it possibly could cause a small fire if it got punctured.
Sploding. You can splode.
So I wonder, I'm probably not allowed to take this on an airplane then.
It's tiny
How did they get it to the
little
US?
LiPo batteries. I mean,
super tiny. Yeah. So those RFIDs come in a variety of different form factors. There are some that are within minifigs. There are some that are just 4x4 smooth tiles that you click onto part of your build. And I think I mentioned this the first time we talked about it. I expect this is going to be a really cool on-ramp for people who will then want to hack this and create their own play experiences with perhaps special sounds, music, light shows, other things that Lego may unlock for kids to play with and digitally enhance their play experiences, or that the hacking community will find a way to go do that for them. So really cool thing that'll get you toward the robotic space and what Lego has done already for a good long while in robotics as well. So fun stuff. I'll tell you more as I build more.
Cool.
All right, so so this little brick is the brain of these Lego builds, as we were just talking about, little chip and battery and whatnot. We have an article from New Scientist about this is your brain on Doom. And we've had some stories before about using brain cells, even human brain cells, for compute power. And Michael, I think you found this particular article here about how these brain cells were put together and what did people do with them.
Yeah, what this reminded me of is actually I had gone to a meeting back in my Internet of Things days at the university, Georgia Tech University in Atlanta, worked with a group of scientists who were doing stuff with biological computers.
Yes.
And the chip biological interfaces, and that's what this really is instead of just using muscle tissue or whatever, they're using neurons, i.e. brain cells, and then using that to actually be able to do something, in this case, play Doom. But Andy, you also had a thing that you wanted to jump in right as I got started, so I will uncut you off and let you chime in.
Well, I was going to mention that perhaps we should explain for listeners, because this isn't possibly not something we've spoken about very much, what Doom is.
We're living it.
Doom being a 3D shoot 'em up, first-person shooter from the 1990s that has been used by a lot of people these days to demonstrate, basic computing capability. The other
I'm trying to
thing,
remember when the first one came out. Was it 93? I remember playing it on DOS.
Yes,
and then under OS2, then under Windows, right? And
of
just
course
constantly being rewritten,
remade and rewritten and ported from its original form to lots of different devices. It's interesting to me that this article in the New Scientist has a lot of references to academics in the UK, one of whom is a gentleman called Steve Ferber, who is one of the folks that I knew of when I was much younger, because he was one of the people that was involved with the Acorn and ARM computer systems back in the 80s. So I found that quite interesting that he's cited here, talking about the fact that we've had these brain or neuronal computer chips where they're using human neurons to train or train these things to play games, and they've used it to play Pong in the past. But Doom is a much more complex game. But the interesting thing here is that there's the neurons don't know what's on the screen. Right. Because they don't have eyes. Therefore, how can any of this sort of thing work? So it's a really interesting story about what learning means in this context, I think.
Yeah, I think that the other part that really kind of interested me too is in, I think, 2019 at MOGFest, there was a whole session on human computing interfaces, and how people can develop an additional sense by having an input device attached to the brain. And so, for example, seeing in infrared, exactly to your point, Andy, that the input gets translated into something that the brain can comprehend.
Yeah, it's just
so
data.
While it can't see, it is still an appropriate set of signals and inputs that happen. And then that got me going down the rest of the agenda, briefly thinking, as long as they don't hook this up to an LLM after they've trained it how to fight its way through corridors, I'm probably okay.
Yeah, so Michael's alluding to an Ars Technica article about how large language models can identify users, people that are converted into data, because LLMs don't have eyes either, with amazing accuracy. And this is related very much to the idea that you can triangulate, who a person is based on just a few data points of, where are you picking up some of their digital exhausts and location-based information. You can very rapidly identify and unmask someone who is attempting to be anonymous.
Well, that's why browser fingerprinting is so successful in targeted ads, right? There's very little additional data that you need than an IP address or some detailed information about the size of your screen, the plugins that you have to narrow it down from, 7 billion people on the planet using your computer to there's probably 150 people in that geography that could be using a computer with that configuration. And once you get down to that, having an LLM that sees additional patterns with additional data, it just seems, unfortunately, way too logical that an LLM-based AI can find signals in the noise of all you say this digital exhaust and figure out pinpointing who people are.
Yeah. So let's move from something that's scary like that to something that's both humorous and a little scary. There is an article from PC Mag that's all about orcs, and this particular article is saying how the orcs and their special phrases that they utter in Warcraft 3 have been now enabled and ported so that as you're doing your vibe coding, it will use those voices or those little audio snippets to communicate, where things are. So kind of cute stuff for those of you who've been in the Warcraft environment for just a little while, right, Michael?
Well, yeah. I mean, I still have Warcraft 3 available. Matter of fact, on the machine that we're recording the podcast on. As soon as I saw this article, I think, Andy, you had found this and sent it to us. My brain immediately went, ready to work. Because it's just fun, right? And one of the things back on, I think it was Windows 3.1 and Windows 95, you would buy these audio packs.
Oh, yeah.
So that you would have sounds from your favorite movie or whatever. And somewhere in a box in my attic, I think I still have the Windows 95 Star Wars sound pack.
Wow.
So when you opened up a window, it would make, a lightsaber sound.
Whoosh, yeah.
And things like that. Having that makes computing fun.
Yeah. Now we've got liquid glass to do that.
Yeah.
Badly.
It's kind of funny. I did not play Defense of the Ancients or Warcraft at all, but the article does reference Defense of the Ancients in here. It's kind of funny because my daughter was putting together a playlist, and some of the songs that she had kind of reminded me of the, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, the Base Hunter version of Defense of the Ancients. So I was able to add that to her playlist of other stuff. So I'll put the music in the show notes if you haven't heard it before. It's kind of catchy. Okay, so moving right along, let's head on over to Texas A&M, and we'll kind of turn our white towel there and celebrate the idea that in their science and tech structure, they have created the humanities last exam. Yes, Andy.
Texas A&M, explain.
It is a university in Texas.
Okay.
They have a very involved fan base for their U.S. football and basketball teams. Are they
the Aggies?
Yes.
Okay.
And the A stands for agricultural
and
college,
mechanical.
Right?
And mechanical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's useful background, because when you first started referencing Texas earlier on in our conversations today, I had no idea what you were talking about. So thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
I know
it's
a state, but yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, some state.
Yeah.
and it's a state of mind for the people who live in Texas.
So this is an article from that institution.
Yes.
About an exam that you can use with an LLM that it can't answer in theory at the moment, as of today, as of recording.
That's very important to say right now.
Yeah, and it's huge.
And today being recording is on March 6th, 2026.
And this was written on February the 25th, this article. So, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it has solved it by now.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Well, and why not? I mean, if there's an exam, you can train something to do what it needs to do to hack it and win it and, and get there. It's 2,500 questions that my guess would be there are very few humans who might be able to pass this exam too. When you look at the ancient languages that you would have to know how to translate and do all kinds of other interesting things to be able to get through this exam. But the point is that many LLMs have been used to do the entrance exams for law school or medical school or things like that. So this is the humanities last exam. So
this is the entry into the human school.
So if you'd like to go and try this yourself, go to lastexam.ai and you can
give it a
look
whirl.
At the data set, look at the papers that you used it, and see how the different LLM AI models have scored against it. I think at the moment, at the time of recording, we have Gemini 3.1 Pro reaching about 50% accuracy, just under. But starting off back in November when they started doing this with GPT-4, November 24, I beg your pardon, so 18 months ago, getting sub 10% accuracy. So really rapid increase already in the accuracy.
Yeah. So again, maybe if you're going back a year from now, listening to our entire podcast catalog, which you can find at gamesthatwork.biz,
or you're an LLM doing that,
yeah, then we'll know more.
You can answer questions about any of us if you're doing that. So moving along, we have a really fun YouTube video, and because we're a family-friendly show, we'll give you a warning that if you go and play the video, there'll be a few words that are maybe not as family-friendly as you might like. And this is from the Norwegian Consumer Council, and we all enjoyed it tremendously because A, the accent, and B, the whole idea about how digital products and services are being made worse and worse. And you can see the references to so many examples in modern life.
I didn't think this had any problems with being family friendly. I thought they were talking about bed sheets. Sheets, right? Sheets?
Oh, you mean the company that sells gasoline when you get cheap other things? Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, fun little video. Don't play it out loud in your workspace, but you'll probably enjoy it, and you'll see things like cars, where premium features of cars would be things like radios and stuff like that when you have an update.
All things we've talked about.
Things we've talked about
over the years.
Yeah. So good stuff. So moving along, let's do some metaverse, 3D internet stuff. Let's bring back, some of the old stuff. And this article is from March 4th, so it's fairly recently here, really just a couple of days ago. And the thing that kind of popped out of this when I looked at it in reader mode so I could read it is apparently Epic Games and Google had a deal using Unreal, the Unreal Engine, for both the software and services around it, which I guess is not entirely surprising, because when you think of all the investments Google has made about maps and everything else, that and all of the additional elements that relate to that, why wouldn't there be something along the metaverse concept here, right?
Well, there's a lot of redacted content here in these court sheets, but it's interesting as well. There's a separate story that springs from this these set of papers and these set of rulings, which is that Tim Sweeney now has to say nice things about Google, having been very public about upsetting them about the App Store as he did with Apple as well. So it's quite interesting, but it's a shame that there's such limited information. I'm just going to read out, since we've got a few minutes here, what's visible in the document and the specifics of it. There's references to a metaverse browser, which Google and Epic are collaborating on. And metaverse browsers, meaning that they will have the primary purpose of allowing the navigation and exploration of metaverse worlds, support virtual items and identity that are portable across different worlds in the metaverse browser, and support modern security considerations, including sandbox capabilities. And going all the way back to when we started the podcast, we were talking about interoperability between virtual world spaces, metaverse spaces, the ability to port your belongings, possessions, virtual items, identity between them. So what goes around, I guess. Same old. But I think it's curious to see what it means.
I think both you and I at conferences have spoken similar words to the effect of, and the example I used to always use is, I'm playing World of Warcraft and I get a call, but I'm dressed up like my orc with my battle axe, and I get a call and I walk my avatar into the meeting room out of World of Warcraft into the meeting room. My battle axe turns into a laser pointer for a presentation, right? Because we wanted this exchange across metaverses, across gaming platforms, across virtual worlds, etc.
Yeah.
And to have a continuity of personality across those. So that was 2007.
And what that service might look like in terms of transferring data or identity between those systems. I mean, it's funny because we deal with some of the same questions in the open social web, where you're potentially having multiple identities depending on which systems you're using. And so in the Fediverse, not the metaverse, today, I have, because I've been playing with this week, doing some work and coding around this, I think I've got about 26 different ActivityPub Fediverse identities, including the one that we use for the show, Games at Worktop Biz on Mastodon, for example, and some others. So they're not all personal identities, but they are all me. I am the glue that holds them together. And at the moment, you can't port the data between them. You can port the networks between platforms. You can't port the data between the platforms. And it's not a different problem. It's the same problem in a different context, in a non-3D context here.
Yeah.
You know, guys, I was just hunting in our back catalog here for Niantic, and when we've talked about them in the past, and I came across an episode from October of 2014, where this was one of the topics of discussion. So this has been around for a little while, as we're all saying.
2007, right? We were talking about it too. I mean, it's literally 20 years.
Yeah,
just about 20 years.
Back when I still had hair.
Wait, what's that? No.
Oh, you're gonna out his other avatar.
Okay. Well, okay. We are an audio-based podcast, so in case you didn't know. All right. So I think the last thing that we've got on our hit parade for today is an intriguing thing from the company Liquid Death, and Liquid Death is such an intriguing company for what it is that they do and the marketing that they do in so many places. I did not know, for example, until I read this article about they had a partnership with Yeti for a casket-sized cooler from Yeti that they said here it was auctioned off for $68,200. So
was it full of liquid death?
I haven't clicked through to it yet, but I would imagine that it is, right?
I'm not certain that this brand is one that is popular
worldwide
in the UK. I don't know.
I
don't really think I'd heard of it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's fizzy water in a lot of ways, and their tagline
with extra
is
caffeine or something.
Murder your thirst, right? Liquid Death, murder your thirst, and they come in really big cans so that you can see them this way. So this article, which of you found this one? Let's set it up. Andy, was that you? Was that you, Michael? Who was it?
I don't think it was me.
Definitely wasn't.
Maybe
me.
It was me. Maybe
Okay.
It was me.
I mean,
it looks like something I would have found.
I saw it too.
It specifically says that the product is not available in my region.
Oh,
Okay. Well, then you're lucky.
oh,
I wouldn't drink it.
Well, we have some Reston Peach here in the house, and it's actually okay and not too carby, so that's good.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't drink that one.
Yeah.
I packed peaches one summer. I don't drink stuff. with peaches
You're
in
always
it.
peachy keen.
Wait, no,
I know. That's because I lived in Georgia.
Yeah.
I guess maybe the drinks are available here, but not the specific product we're talking about. Oh no, free shipping to the UK on orders above £100. Weird.
So you can actually get the speaker.
I can't
Yes.
get the speak. I can't get. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
But it is sold out, actually.
Oh, that's terrible. So
tell us about this speaker.
yeah, well, I can give you at least a couple of things. So it's a Bluetooth speaker. It is the Eternal Playlist Urn is what it is. And the idea here is that you can keep your favorite playlist of all the songs that you might like, including your ashes, in this urn. And you'll have to charge it up, right? Because, your ashes don't provide, energy to an urn. And it's appropriately, logoified here from Liquid Death and Spotify on it. And it looks like marble, but it's just a polyester resin sort of thing. And you can play your playlist and it prompts you to figure out what your playlist should be, right? As you're resting in peace in the urn in some other place other than a cemetery, I suppose.
So I guess if you're resting in this urn, it can't really be liquid death until you add water. So just add water and you have your liquid death.
So weird. So weird. I mean, they're very clever marketing and angle, I suppose. But yeah, totally odd.
Well, you need to do that. If you're selling water, you got to have an angle, right?
I guess so.
Well, and what's really funny is this article's all the way back from December.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so it was a Christmas gift.
It's February 26th.
It's a great Christmas gift.
Yeah,
February
so February 26th here.
Yeah.
Mine says December 15th.
Well, that's because you have a pile.
What?
It says
possible?
December 15th.
How is this possible? How come Michael and I are both seeing February 28th? And you're seeing...
Because evidently it's one of these evergreen stories that's using
the previous
some kind of
article is
notifier.
December 25th, is December 15th. If you scroll down the page, the urn one is not.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Maybe it's reader mode that's doing that because
I think it must be. I think it's reader mode is doing it.
Reader mode got confused.
There you go. It's giving you the date of the previous article.
Oh, yeah, exactly. The rare vintage tech products.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, there you go. That's the
bizarre.
accuracy of AI summarization for you.
Oh, yeah. So who would have an Apple One computer in their attic? Not many people.
Well, if you had one back in the day and you forgot about it and put it in your attic.
Yeah.
This is going now, Michael, to be clear, Michael Martin has now scrolled far enough down the page to get to the previous
I had
article.
to get to the previous article. All right, well,
about
friends,
an Apple One.
I think we're done, right? So if you've got a great article, if you've got a great article, send it to us. You can find us at gamesatwork.biz. You can find us on Mastodon. There's all the channels and stuff. Hit like, subscribe, tell your friends, and you'll see us again here next week. Most of us on gamesatwork.biz.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya. You've been listening to gamesatwork.biz, the podcast about gaming technology and play. We are part of the Blueberry Podcasting Network, and would like to thank the band Random Encounters for their song, Big Blue. You can follow us at our website at gamesatwork.biz.